Yeah, so last Saturday, God gave us a divine appointment with this family, and we met a family with 6 kids, a mother, father, and 6 kids that were homeless and going to the shelters. So I was excited, and I told her I wanted to adopt her family and get the kids shoes and whatnot and go get them on my day off on Friday and Saturday. So that was the plan. We went to, it was getting close to Friday, so I called her last night. Now the shelter would not they didn't open the warming center over there in Modesto because it wasn't under 45 degrees. So this family ended up on the street last night. They didn't get dinner because they were 5 minutes late for dinner. And so I was at work and I'm like, I gotta get out of here. I gotta go pick up these people. But against everything that everybody is saying, you gotta be careful, and here it is, it's 3 o'clock in the morning and I go to get in my bed and I'm like, I just can't get in this warm bed knowing that there's little babies out there. There are 2 or 3, 3 and 4 little babies out at the park. I'm like, I don't care. God, you're going to have to go with me and protect me. I'm going in, because I don't know Graceta Park. Yeah. I almost called you. I was going to call you and ask you, wake you up and have you meet me there. But
I was up at 4, so it worked.
I was going to call you because you live over there and just have you go with me. And I thought, you know what? I'll just go live on Facebook.
Yeah.
And then if anything happens, it'll be on live. So that's what I decided to do. So I went there at like 3 o'clock and I looked for him and I couldn't find him. So I was like, I texted her and I tried to call and she didn't answer. And so she texted me back about 5 o'clock and said, we're here. We're in it's a stage area. And so I was already asleep. I'd worked all night. And so I said, I gotta go. I can't lay in this warm country bed and have these kids out there. So sure enough, I found them. So we picked them up at the park and we brought them home. And we had that whole family. You see my car, right? Their Deborah stroller. That's how we stopped, at Denny's and got them all pancakes because they were hungry, and brought them home. And so they're here with us. And I just, so like I told you in the interview that we did a while ago, there's just no way that I could walk away from that. If God says, if you see your brother and hungry and cold and say, okay, be warm. That's all I could think of all night. God just kept, And another thing that came to my mind too was, you know what? We make sure that dogs have dog houses, but yet we don't have a place for these people.
Yeah.
But a dog, we'll go and charge somebody for leaving their dog out in the elements, but yet we will actually send them out and say we don't have a place for you. And when they have a place, if it's 45 degrees or less, that doesn't make any sense. The system's broken.
Do you think they would be willing to let us meet them and maybe
talk?
Yeah,
for sure. Oh yeah.
Oh, then that's a beautiful thing. Maybe that's something we should explore. To hear them.
Here's my little baby bear. She was part of this too.
Hi.
Remember, her and I went in halves on the hotel, so it was her idea actually. So.
Hi everybody. So this is for your oldest daughter, Promise her some Jordans.
And I don't know, I'm almost your size.
You said you wear size 5. Those are 5.5 for boys.
5 and 6.
So
Maybe
you guys
can share. 7 and 8.
Those are
9.
Ooh,
these ones are the 12.
There's
something for
He just stole his sister's shoes, man.
Look how close
and then I got her some jeans and stuff. These ones are really nice.
Thank you so much.
And
You maybe want to wake her up now so she can see.
Oh, and that jacket is really cute too, but I'm just too fat for it these days.
Thank you so much. You sure? I should just go wake her up. She'll be okay. A lot of embarrassment going on inside of me, and I'm trying to hold it together. I'm not gonna cry for the camera right now. I'm trying to hold it back, but I don't know. I'm just grateful, and I'm not worried. I'm explaining why I'm not worried, because I haven't read the entire Bible, but I do remember certain scriptures, and I do know through experience and watching other people who have the faith that if you just give your all to God, lay it down, deny yourself, then you are gonna be able to be used. And if you be used, then He'll open up doors for you. I feel like, okay, Lord, I'm going through this. Like, I'm not a bad person, but I'm not perfect. So I feel like it's not that I deserve to go through this. It's something that I've done in my decision making that caused me to be in this situation and my circumstances. And then also the way the world works. because I shouldn't be in this situation no more. Even if I have made a couple of mistakes, by now, after 4 months, you would think I have a place. Because I haven't just sat around. It might look like that from the outside in, but I haven't been just sitting around. You know, I've been looking. And circumstantial, like, I don't have the 3 times the rent and the different things, and that's why I'm still in this situation. I had too many kids. People are saying, you know, you have too many kids. You have to get a 4-bedroom. And then you run into a couple of them, and there's like your credit isn't good enough, or whatever the situation may be. But I'm just grateful I met you guys, and I'm grateful that, you know, I met her and her. They're just wonderful people. And you hear other people's stories, and I just tell myself every day, now you can't complain. That's why last night it was hurtful, but at the same time it was like, when I go through stuff that's like rock bottom, I be like, thank you, Lord Jesus, because it can't get no worse. I know something's gonna happen out of this situation. Something's gonna happen. He's working on me through and through. He's using me. He's completing his work in me so that I can glorify. This is to glorify him, because it's not about us, it's about him. And he's using us. He's trying to find somebody that's seeking their whole heart. And I'm always halfway stepping in, and I'm trying to change that in myself. And I feel humiliated the most when it comes to my kids, the teenagers that, you know, they don't want to come in the camera. Well, my daughter's asleep, my 20-month-old is asleep, but my 17-year-old son, he's, you know, the more embarrassed one. You know, he's always on Instagram, so he don't want to, you know, come and film. But I'm going to make a film one day or another, okay?
Maybe in the future, as we get further in the progression, right? How was that Alfredo?
It was delicious.
She cooked pretty good. Denise could cook.
Oh my gosh, our stuff was
she
very
get down.
nice. We
She
ate a
get
lot.
Okay, so now tell me about the hotel. What was the hotel like?
The hotel was kind of small, like this big,
Yeah.
and just a little bit over there.
Yeah.
And
It was
then
so warm, huh?
there was a TV. It was, there was a heater and stuff. It was warm in there. And they gave us lots of food and snacks and cookies and stuff. And then she recorded us all, and all about the stuff and vibes we did. And then when they left, we went to sleep, and then the next day we did it again. And then a couple days later, we ended up having to sleep in the park because the mission wouldn't let us go. Mission wouldn't let us sleep in the warming center because it wasn't cold enough and it wasn't raining. So we had to sleep in the park for a little bit. And then at about like 5 a.m.
Can I ask you one question?
Yes.
What do you think about that when they say they have a place to put you and they close it because it's not cold enough? What do you think? What does that make you think in your young mind?
I think that's just messed up and they don't have enough God in their heart.
Yeah, it's not right, huh?
It's all about
It's not right. They have a place to put you, but it's not cold enough, so they're not going to let you in.
Yeah.
So go on, continue.
And then after it was about 5 a.m. in the morning, we got picked up from the knees in her car. We barely fitted in there, but we worked it out. And then we made our way here, and then we ate breakfast for Denny's. We ate pancakes, and then when it was a little later in the morning, we got up to meet everybody here.
Right.
Man.
And now it comes to here.
Yeah, okay. So the next question is how can other people help you? And your family, of course.
Well, they can help by uploading the video, sharing it with other people so that people can, you know, hear our story and have faith and be encouraged to help, because there's so many people in the United States, period, and all over the world that's going through the same thing, or if anything worse. And, you know, prayer, of course, is the main thing, because it's all about up there. You know, he opened up the doors. It's in his timing, but so that we can sustain and persevere through the situation while we're waiting. And just a lot of love, you know, donations, you know. I hate to ask, you know, because we're supposed to take care of our own family. I'm the one that birthed the children. But I'm broken right now. And when people are broken, somebody always needs somebody. And we don't have our families for whatever the reasons are. And unfortunately in this county, they have a lot of blessings, but everybody's utilizing them. And I've, you know, utilized what I should, you know, could. I don't qualify for certain things. So if somebody could just bless us with any type of funding so we can get us a van and a car for him to go back and forth to work, and to help us get an apartment, you know, or a house, whatever. You know, rather apartment, just to make sure I can continue to pay for my water bill and stuff. Just stuff like that. That's about it. You know, I'm a grateful person, so I'm not asking for nothing fancy. I mean, my kids have never had anything brand new, except for some of the clothes I buy for them on a monthly basis. We've never had a full furnished house. So we're very humble, gracious people. So,
What kind of skills do you have, and what kind of work are you looking for if the Days Inn thing don't work out?
I mean, to be honest, I only have life skills. I haven't really worked much. I've done fast food. It's been basically just life skills. Or I used to do hair. I mean, I'm a naturalist at that. I haven't went to cosmetology school, but I just know how to weave and braid. And when I say life skills, I'm talking about I know how to cook, I know how to clean. I've done like in-home care. I have experience with that. And I was working at a motel, so I have a little tiny bit of experience with that. I'm a fast learner. My health was down, so it didn't really look like that, but I'm quick, you know, so.
So if someone decides they have a job and they want to help you out, what are some of your skills and what is some of the work you're looking for?
My skills is warehousing. The type of work I'm looking for is a consistent, any consistent work, because I didn't go to school for a certain type of criteria job, so I'm just looking for consistency right now. And then my main focus is in trying to get something that I can build on, you know.
A career.
So yeah, career, exactly. Unfortunately, as a youngster, I didn't get a chance to, you know, go that route with the college and stuff like that. So my experience is in, like I said, retail, warehousing, mostly warehousing. So if anybody can give me a warehouse job, that'd be great. My name is Ray Stevens, and this is my family right here.
My name is Lakeisha, and we just want to ask if you guys can first of all pray for us. You know, those who cannot help. Prayer sometimes and most of the time is the best thing. You know, we don't need anything else sometimes, but we really right now need physical help. And you know, it's really hard as a young adults to have young adult children and little children and go through something like this. You know, if it was me by myself or him or just me and him, it would be a little easier. You know, we could work. We would have been out of this situation maybe 2-3 months ago, but it's not that. We have six of them total, you know, and we're just hoping that you guys can help anybody, you know, because, you know, we've been busting our butts, Ray and I, and it's just, it's heartbreaking. You know, you're humiliated and then you're humbled at the same time. And at the same time, it's a joy. You know, I find joy in this for some reason. I don't know how, but it's because of God. And it's, you know, I feel like I can help others, you know, and it's because I know I'm being used for some reason through God, you know, and I just hope that you guys can help us because we've really been trying, and through circumstances and rules and regulations, we're still homeless. And, you know, to family and those who know us, they might not understand or think that we're not trying, but we are. And you make a mistake, you're thrown out. You know, he had a good job that he was hired for, and because of the system and the bus, he wasn't going to get there on time. And so they said he couldn't come back to the agency. So, you know, we're both putting in a lot of applications, and it's blowing our mind how we're not being called back or being accepted. So we need to reach out some other way, because I feel like there's no reason that my children should have to sleep on a stage at a park and be woke up by the police. And I was so scared, thinking that he was going to take the kids from me, and that's what I cannot have happen, period. God gave me these children to take care of, and that's what my duties. I'm going to do that. I just want everybody to know that if you're going through something just like us, all you got to do is lean on the Lord, but believe it. Don't get discouraged when a door shuts, because another one's going to open. You know, whether it's long suffering, you know, not that God wants us to suffer, but you can do it, and I know that I can do it too, and I just need a little bit of help, and that's okay.
All right, so Mike, you were sharing with us in the car after we got back from Walmart buying some clothes, and you were talking about, you know, being out there and praying. What happened? I mean, because I didn't hear this before. You just shared it in the car right now, and you seem, you know, like it was a very serious thing in your life. Go ahead.
Well, I've been homeless, and I ended up, we don't have to get into details, and I was stuck on the streets here. And the people I came with were supposed to get a job, and they just left without me and threw my stuff on the street. So I was homeless from Phoenix, homeless here now. Did get the job. 3 days trying to sleep in the bushes, real hot, and almost gave up hope. And I tried to look for work. I didn't have a car. I only had very few items, no phone. And the third day I'm sitting there and I prayed to God when I was crying, God, please, there's no one to help me, nobody around. Only you can help me. I call on Jesus Christ, your son's name, Father in heaven, please. And I start crying. I cannot, without your help, you're the only one that can help me. And that was it. And all I know, when I prayed, and the next day God answered that prayer. A grown man at 56 years old to be crying to God, and boy, he didn't waste no time. He answered the prayer, not 2 weeks, the next morning.
Amen.
And boy, he's awesome. He's awesome, God. And that's why I want to go. Jesus Christ is a great, loving Father in heaven. And he is, if he can lead me and I'm going to do whatever, then I'll walk and I'll do whatever he says. Because that's how awesome he is. To answer your prayer like that.
Yeah.
He does care.
Ray's family and Mike are just two examples of people that need help. And so we're hoping, that you guys will be able to help and give a hand. We're helping, but we can only do so much. But I'm hoping that some of you, will feel the tug on their heart to give a hand, And, there's so many needs and there's so many more people. This is just two examples of the help and the people that need help. We'd like to see them in their own houses or apartments. We'd like to see them with their own vehicles. Maybe you're an employer and you want to give one of them a chance at a job. There's a whole host of ways of helping, whether it's food, clothes, just whatever the Lord puts on your heart will be greatly appreciated. And more than our appreciation, the Lord sees. Thank you.